And first tonight, the child killer Colin Pitchfork has been released from prison after serving 33 years for killing 2 Leicestershire schoolgirls. He was given a life sentence for raping and murdering Linda Mann and Dawn Ashworth. But the parole board decided in June that it would be safe to set him free. Well, while the case is now finally closed, the controversy about Pitchfork's release remains. Here's our social affairs correspondent, Jeremy Ball. Hi, Jeremy.
Thanks, Anne. This is Colin Pitchfork, one of Britain's most notorious killers. It was just before 11:30 this morning when we got the news that he's been freed. His release wasn't a surprise, but for many people, it's still shocking. Shocking because of Pitchfork's brutality. These were his innocent victims, Linda Mann and Dawn Ashworth, both raped and murdered and dumped near their homes in Enderby and Narborough. And it was these DNA advances that made Pitchfork so notorious, the first time that a murderer was caught by a DNA fingerprint. But that wasn't the end of the story. Pitchfork became eligible for parole after serving his minimum jail term. There was a vocal campaign to stop it. And when that challenge failed in July this year, we spoke to Dawn's uncle.
I'm concerned about what it says, what messages it sends out, and what assessment it makes of the worth of the lives of my niece and his other victims. It robbed Dawn of her life. They're taking a risk with the lives of the children of the families in the location where he's going to be relocated.
So why has Pitchfork been released after committing such horrific crimes? It's because of what the Ministry of Justice calls the strictest licence conditions ever set. Now, I'm told those include electronic tagging and lie detector tests. He'll be supervised for the rest of his life, and he's banned from Leicestershire to keep him away from his victims' families and those crime scenes. If Pitchfork breaches any one of those, they can send him straight back to prison. He'll be on the sex offenders register too, and the parole board is convinced those conditions mean he won't be a danger to the public. But the local MP for Narborough says he's not convinced.
I feel like any viewer disturbed that someone who has brutally raped and barbarically murdered 2 innocent teenage girls is free at the age of 61. A healthy, fit, middle-aged man has got years, decades of life ahead. He's been granted his freedom, but the victims haven't.
Now, the government says there'll be a root and branch reform of the parole system in the wake of the Pitchfork case. And we're also told that Pitchfork is now using a different name. That's not uncommon when serious criminals are released from jail, but the authorities will still know Pitchfork's real identity.